twerk, 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 yeah, twerk, 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 twerk.
Let's talk about it then. Maybe we should start a conversation.
American schools are the epitome of, like, honestly the worst school system in my opinion, because it's just busy work. Like, you're getting work that isn't going to help you after you get out of that school. Like, when you go into the real world and you get a job, most of the stuff that you're learning in the classes are not going to help you whatsoever. So that's that, if we want to talk about that.
SOLs are limited, and what you actually learn in school, you can't put that on paper. That's is no way possible, because you actually learn more than they allow you to say. I don't even think that I would ever really set aside that much time, because you can never really tell what's really gonna be on the test. So you really don't even know what to study for. So you're just repeating everything that your teachers have told you, and then half of the stuff not even really gonna be on the test. So I would be like, I'm just gonna go in there, wing it, know the vocabulary words, just as about as you can do.
I really, to this day, am not the one to study. I'm a visual learner. I feel as though in the education world that we live in now, a lot of teachers teach for the test. They don't teach for you to understand. So I feel as though a lot of things I was making sure, let me memorize this so I can get it right to get a certain score on the test. It really wasn't learning. I felt like I was just, regurgitating what I seen in a book or what my teacher told me. So as far as it impacted me, like, I studied for the test. When it came time for the test, I felt like it's gone. But I did what I had to do to pass. That sounds bad.
It isn't relevant to what we necessarily learn all the time. I think a lot of teachers just, they look at what's going to be on a course, and they just give you sheets and stuff based on that knowledge. Now, they don't have all the knowledge that's going to be on the SOL test, so they don't know fully. But I wouldn't say that all of it's relevant, or even most of it, to be honest.
Students always can feel when a teacher is really interested in them or helping them out than someone who's very nonchalant and just teaches it because they have to. So I feel like when teachers build a relationship with the students, it helps them be interested in the class more, enjoy coming to the teacher. Because there's nothing worse than going to a class with a teacher that you really don't like, or you don't really learn in the class as you should.
Teachers wasn't even excited. Like, they was just like, I'm getting a paycheck, so I'm here. I don't really care if you like my class, but I'm going to be here. So it's like your teacher is the leader of the class. So if they really don't even like what they're teaching, how can they expect you to like it? That's backwards. And even if they do like it, their tactics was old, like mad old school. And you can't really get to a younger crowd. The people that's like, we change every year. Like, when you look at my freshmen and then the freshmen that's coming in, they're so different. So you can't literally have the same book going through the same stuff every year, because eventually people are going to get tired of hearing it because it's so boring that they're just going to stop coming. They're either going to drop your class or drop out of school. It's just not going to end well, all because the stuff is boring. Nobody wants to do it because it's not alert, it's not exciting, it's just so boring. It's dry as Sahara Desert. Dry.
Like I said, you got to get a teacher that cares about what he's teaching, because if you have a teacher that cares about what they're teaching, it gets the students engaged. Like, he'll get more creative with the ways he wants to teach it, instead of just passing out papers saying fill this out and then you get an A. You know, really get the kids learning on what they're being taught.
Because I want to become a teacher, I feel as though what teachers need to do, in my opinion, in that first 2-3 weeks, I feel like that's when you start establishing rules. You get to know your students, and that way you get over that hump of awkwardness. So when it comes time to teach, you'll have that. All classes have that one shy student that doesn't know what the teacher is speaking, but they're too afraid to ask. So going back to getting to know your students, if you have already developed a relationship with that person, it will make it less awkward for when any type of student, if you have a child that has behavior problems or a child that's shy, it will be easier to connect with them and get them to understand what you're saying because they trust you. Because I feel as though a lot of students are afraid to ask questions because they feel as though the teacher doesn't care about them. Take the time and slow down, make sure everyone is getting it versus just spitting out information and expecting students to connect on a real world sense of what it means.
Like more like book. Like, this is what they found out, so this is what you need to do. Like, it was kind of just more of like instructional, more than like hands-on and like visual. Like, that was probably like the part of science that I did like, when we did have visuals and like doing science projects and just doing hands-on stuff. Because I'm a hands-on learner. I love doing stuff like just kind of like having a visual of it, be able to watch it, or being able just to do it myself. Being like, hey, this is how you do this. Oh, okay, I know how to do it now. And like, it was just like, that was kind of what threw me off from like the class. And like, you know, like reading, it's kind of like, you sit here and read this. It's like, okay, I'm learning how to read better, but I'm not like learning, like, I'm not like doing like anything hands-on with it. Like, I can understand like we were reading and then like, all right, we're gonna read this book and do a play with it. I would love it.
You have to learn like what they have in store. Like, it's not really about like what the students or the peers have to offer or anything like that. It's just what they need you to know, what they have to offer.
Particularly during notes in certain classes, videos, reading stories you really don't want to read, or when they like make you like work solidly and it's like the worst. When they tell you to work solidly and by yourself, it kind of puts you like, well, I mean, why do I have to do this solidly? But I mean, I understand when it's like tests and quizzes that you should work by yourself, but I feel like if you can work with someone, I feel like that helps you engage more because there's two minds instead of one, and I feel like that would help a lot more. Sometimes teachers don't give people like the necessary help they need. Like, some people really learn from like learning in groups, but some people really need individual help. Like, and I feel like that if they did that in the classroom, even more teachers having like teachers assistants and stuff would help students progress a lot more.
I was most excited about learning was when we were doing group work and presenting projects that we had to come up with by ourselves rather than sitting there listening to the teacher lecture and take notes. No one wants to sit behind a desk and learn 8 hours straight and just look at a board or keep taking notes. They need some physical activity to get all their built up energy out.
I don't think my core classes and my elective classes can even compete. Some people might just say, oh, that's just because you didn't have a SOL in those classes and you had SOLs in this classes so you didn't do as well. No, that has nothing to do with it because I tried. I believe everybody tries. And it's just like, it's something about the electives that I chose that they just felt right for me and they just really achieved what I wanted to do in life. So they helped. And it took them classes to get me to a whole nother level. My mindset to a whole nother level. To be able to accept people that was other than my circle. The people that I'll be around all day, every day. It was different.
That's really what I love about dance, being able to actually take my ideas and make them into a visual.
We ain't got a chocolate city. I seen Cole out there, felt I should go out there. They left that boy 4 hours in the cold out there. They killing teens, they killing dreams.
Yo, come on, we gotta stick together.
Yeah. Twerk, Molly, twerk. Twerk, Molly, twerk. Yeah, twerk.